From his brand new album, She, that is Harry Connick Jr., I Could Only Whisper Your Name. That's also, that's also on the Mask soundtrack, isn't it?
It sure is.
This weekend's #1 movie at the box
cool.
office.
I think it's a great picture. I'm a big Jim Carrey fan, so it was really exciting to see that.
Great. I haven't seen the movie yet, but the previews look amazing.
It's a great film.
I'm Nicole Sandler, and my guest is Harry Connick Jr. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Nicole. Good to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you here. And we brought in a piano and everything, and while that song was playing, you were just sitting there tinkling along. And, and I didn't want to talk to you because I didn't want to, waste anything. I wanted to save it all for on air, but I've been enjoying just watching you for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm going to enjoy watching you tonight. You've got a big show at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes, it should be a lot of fun. It got the new band, the band who plays on this latest album. It's like the funk band. They're playing with me at the show, so it should be a lot of fun tonight.
The Funky Donkey Band, is that what we're calling
Well,
it?
the band really doesn't have a name. It just that's actually the name of one of the songs on the record, but they're tremendous musicians, really are.
Great. Now this is a kind of a departure for you. It's away from the big band stuff that you've been doing on the last few albums.
Right. It's music I've played for a long time. I just haven't done a record like this, and I thought it would be a good time to let the people hear a little different side of me, you know?
Well, there was kind of a natural progression, I think, in your music, because your first one was an instrumental, just piano and bass.
Right.
Right, and then you did the trio thing.
Right.
And started singing and showing us what an amazing voice you've got.
Thank you.
And then I guess it was with the When Harry Met Sally soundtrack that you first did the big band thing.
Right. So it's all, I've been always trying to change and do things. I've never really been a big band historian or anything. It's just when I did When Harry Met Sally, they had a big band there for me to sing with, and I was fascinated with that whole type of jazz. So I started doing a couple of albums like that, and now's the time for me to try something different,
And this is the kind of music you grew up with, being from New Orleans with the old
Right.
R&B. And
yeah, this was part of it anyway. I mean, if you listen to my other albums, there's a lot of New Orleans jazz influence, but this is definitely the funk side of things.
Great. Well, knowing that I was going to talk to you today, this weekend I was out and about, and I saw a lot of musician types, and I kept bringing up your name. And I heard a couple of stories, and I don't know if they're true or not. One person told me, we know your dad's a DA in New Orleans.
Right.
And one story I heard was that when you were a very young boy, there was an old man up on charges, but he was a musician. And your dad kind of gave him a reduced sentence in exchange for piano lessons?
No, that's
Not
completely
true?
untrue.
Oh, well, it would have been a cool story. But I did hear that when you were 6, you played at your dad's swearing-in ceremony and kind of enjoyed the crowd reaction, and that gave you the entertaining buzz.
That was I was about 5 years old when we did that, and it was actually the opening of his campaign headquarters, and I played the Star Spangled Banner, and I was really impressed with the fact that people were listening and clapping for me. So that was probably the first time I really decided I wanted to be a performer.
Wow, so you knew since then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. You're sitting here in front of this piano. Now, the new album is got a rock R&B kind of thing with a nice band around you.
Right.
So you probably can't do much of that stuff here today.
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
In fact, I play. This would be the first time anyone's ever heard that song you just played on the radio, just with me and the piano. So
wow.
I'll do it for you now. I haven't even done it myself.
Great.
So here it goes. Somebody was spreading rumors about better days are coming. Why was I humming as if I knew one and the same, but I just whispered your name. Somebody was saying something about there being an end to tyranny. Why would they ask me what would I do if that day came? I just whispered your name, yeah. Yes, I did. Well, everyone got their own opinion and protects their own dominion. No doubt for them it's true, but I tell them what I really believe. My only worry is protecting you. Nobody should ever be lonely. We'd all find somebody to care. Ask me if I dare to answer who could carry that flame. I just whispered your name. Oh, 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 oh. Everyone got their own opinion and protects their own dominion. No doubt for them it's true, but I tell them what I really believe. My only worry is protecting you. Nobody should ever be lonely. We'd all find someone to care. Well, ask me if I dare to answer who could carry that flame. Carry that flame, yeah. Carry that flame. I just whispered your name.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank
Harry
you.
Connick Jr., FM 101.9.
New Orleans style for you.
That was wonderful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
As you're playing and you're tinkling that piano, I noticed that shining wedding band on your left hand. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So I know everybody knows, but Harry's married to Jill Goodacre,
Right.
who we have all seen for years and years in those beautiful Victoria's Secret catalog layouts. And I got to ask, before you met Jill, had you seen the catalog? I mean, you saw this woman modeling this lingerie.
Well, Jill's really done a lot of things, and I saw her in actually on the cover of Cosmopolitan for the first time, and of course I don't wear lingerie, so I have no reason to look at the magazine, but I did see her in a lot of other things and a lot of TV commercials and stuff. So that was the first time I got a glimpse of who she was.
She did a boxing video with Sugar Ray Leonard, right?
She sure did.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, she's a great athlete as well. So that comes in handy in her
And now
business.
she's in producing and directing videos?
She's directed 3 things I've done, and she was just nominated for a Cable Ace Award for Best Director for a big feature thing I did at the Paramount in New York City. So I was real proud of her for that.
Oh, great. Well, congratulations. And I know you broke a lot of hearts when you got married, but you're just such a great-looking couple.
Oh, thank you.
And I saw the picture of the horse-drawn carriage, and it looked very romantic.
Oh,
and I'm sure, what could be more romantic than Harry Connick Jr.'s wedding? You know?
Wow.
I'm sure it must have been great. Speaking of awards, you have 5 gold albums, 5 platinum albums, 3 Grammys, 1 Emmy, 2 Oscar nominations for soundtrack songs. You've accomplished a lot at a very young age.
Well, there's a lot of musical things I think left unaccomplished that I'm working on. I mean, it's nice to win awards and be recognized for things, but the real accomplishments, the artistic ones, I think I still have a ways to go yet. You know.
How does your parents react to your success?
Well, my mother died when I was 13, and my dad is very proud of me, and it's mutual. I love my pop, and we have a great relationship, so he's real happy for me.
Well, you grew up. They owned a record store when you were a kid, is that right?
It was actually about 10 years before I was born. They had a record shop, and they were putting themselves through law school, and I wish I had been around to see that, but they did keep a lot of the old records, and I got a chance to hear a lot of that old stuff, so it was fun.
So they were both lawyers, and your father goes on to become district attorney of New Orleans. But still plays on the side. He goes out and plays in clubs.
Well,
and
he's a singer, and he's always loved to sing, sort of as a hobby. And recently, he's in the last few years, he's really developed it into a serious hobby. He's become quite good at it, and he has a couple of shows a week down in the French Quarter. So I'm real proud of him.
Oh, that's great. Do you ever jump up on stage with him and
Oh,
jam?
sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
That must be just the most amazing feeling to be able to do that with your
Yeah,
father.
well, especially when you go up there with somebody you love so much, it's just it's a nice diversion from everyday life when you get to go on stage with somebody like that. So that's a lot of fun.
You have done some acting as well. We first saw you in Memphis Belle.
I did Memphis Belle, and then I did a film with Jodie Foster that she directed. Yeah, and I did one of the Cheers shows.
That was fun. Wonderful.
Thanks.
And I've met all those people. I had an opportunity to be on the set of Cheers one day, and they are a blast. You must have had.
Oh, it was great. It was really fun. They're a lot of fun off camera as well, and so I had a good time doing that. And if the right script comes along and the right time comes along where I can do another movie, I'd love to do it again.
And how about now writing for a soundtrack? For instance, Sleepless in Seattle. Did they come to you first and say?
Well, actually, I didn't write that number. Mark Shaman and a guy named Ramsey McLean, who I've worked with on this album, they wrote the number and asked me if I would sing it. And so all I really did was sing it. It was an easy job for me. The song was pretty, and I went in and sang it. So it was really no effort on my part there.
Now, what about Godfather 3?
It was the same situation. They wrote a song and asked me if I wanted to sing it, and it took a couple hours, and that was the end of that.
Now, how long ago was that?
The Godfather 3?
Yeah.
A couple of years, I think. A couple of years ago.
Oh, it seems longer. I'm thinking that the whole Godfather trilogy was so long ago, and you must have been about 10 years old.
No. This last one was that was only about 2 years ago.
Okay. I have a question about your album titles. You had one called 20, one called 25, one called 11.
Right. Well, the reason 20 was the first one, and I was 20 years old. I thought it'd be neat just to call it 20, for lack of a better title, really. And then when I got to be 25, I said maybe I could do this every 5 years, maybe just to document a certain style of my development, just a solo piano. With a few guests on each one. Well, when I released 25, I had done an album when I was 11 that was really called, Dixieland Plus was the name of the album. But because it was being released with this one, I thought it would be neat just to show people a chronological development. So I just called it 11 because I thought it would be neat for them to see
that. That's great. How old are you now?
26.
Wow. Somebody who never saw you, who didn't know anything, and listening to you, you just have a much more mature sound about you, and it's like amazing. You've got so much ahead. And
well, I like to think so, and there's just a lot of things to learn. About piano playing. Just when I was playing that number a little while ago, there's things that some other great piano players, their fingers would work in a certain way, and I would want mine to work in the same way, and it just takes a long time to figure that kind of stuff out, as a singer, as a piano player. I'm excited to take time and learn those things.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you have 20, you have 25, and you have She. Is she Jill?
No, actually, She is a poem that was written by this fellow Ramsey McLean I was telling you about earlier, and I just thought it was a neat name for the record. So it's really Ramsey's poem that I just put music to.
Will you play another song for us?
Yeah, sure.
Great. It's Harry Connick Jr. live at the New FM 101.9.
La Rouge lies awake at night, doesn't sleep for days. I guess he's carrying something that the pillars can't take away. I feel just like him, except for me it's double. See, baby, I got you in your trouble. Well, your trouble. I used to not need nothing, and now trouble is all I need. Tessie loves excitement, can make a dull moment a thrill. She does whatever she wants, then puts it on my bill. That ain't so expensive, I got it covered in my sleep. You see, sugar, I got you in your trouble. Well, your trouble. I used to not need nothing, now trouble is all I need. Poker game, or build a house in a hurricane, and lose everything I had, and spend the rest of my life gone mad. In a way you'd be believe it really wouldn't be so bad. You see, darling, I got you, and your trouble, well, your trouble. I used to not need nothing, used to not need nothing, I used to not need nothing. Now trouble is all I need.
Harry Connick Jr.
Little New Orleans style for you.
That was wonderful. It's FM 101.9, and we are honored to have you as our guest here. Today is our 1-month anniversary. We're a brand new radio station here in Los Angeles. So thank you for helping inaugurate the place.
Hey, listen, I've heard, so many great things about the station, and there's a lot of stations out there, and it's hard, I think, for a new station to come along and find its own identity, but you guys have done it, because there's not a lot of stations out there concerned with music. And just to let me play on I never get to do that, so it's a blast. The last time I got to do this was on my album 25, where I just sat down on the mic just like I'm doing now. So It's a great treat for me as well.
Well, it is a real treat for us, and it's going to be a treat for everyone who's in the audience tonight at the Hollywood Bowl. What do we expect?
Hopefully a better performance than I just gave you. It's early in the morning for me, man. I gotta have a chance to wake up a little bit. But no, we're just gonna. It's the most amazing band you have ever heard in your life. These guys are they're so outrageous, and it's just a good time. I mean, it's kind of like what I just played, but with 5 just unbelievable musicians behind me. So
wow. I can't wait. There is an opening act.
Yeah, well, I mean, the opening act itself is really all the people need to go away feeling satisfied. Leroy Jones, trumpet player from New Orleans. I have a new record label. I just started it, and he's the first act on the label. And he is probably the world's greatest at what he does. He's just a trumpet player and a singer from New Orleans. He's a true genius.
Oh, terrific. Well, I look forward to that. So it's tonight at the Hollywood Bowl. Are there still tickets available? Great. Still tickets available. Tomorrow night, you'll be at the Santa Barbara County Bowl, which is a wonderful place.
That's going to be fun.
Wednesday, San Diego Open Air Theater, and then Friday night at Irvine Meadows. So we have you for a few dates in Southern California. That's
definitely
great. Going back to what I said before about I asked a lot of questions, somebody told me that, I don't know how long ago it was, but you were in a room with Aaron Neville, and you were doing something, and the two of you wound up sitting and singing old, like, R&B songs?
Oh, we were probably doing my Christmas special, and Aaron is just he's just got a wealth of knowledge and information that if you can be around him long enough, I'm sure he would share it, and he did. He shared it with me, and Aaron Neville comes from a time in New Orleans that I can only wish I came from. I mean, he was there in the 50s when people were really playing that style. And he's just the greatest guy. And I didn't have much to offer the conversation by way of nostalgia or just information because I wasn't around. But I did, I played him some stuff and he would sing. He's just a marvelous guy, just a great guy.
Well, the two of you together in a room, I can imagine it's 2 generations of amazing New Orleans music.
Well, thanks. And just being with him is unbelievable. When we did the Christmas special, everybody knows the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. And I asked him, I said, Aaron, what song would you like to sing? And he said, I'll sing that. And I did all the string arrangements and things for the show and all the conducting. And I basically would write the simplest chords. And his voice was like an angel, So for me, it was a great honor to work with him.
Yeah, I bet. And did you steal one of his band members for your
No,
band?
Yeah, I did actually. Tony Hall, my bass player, he was with the Nevilles for about 8 years. And he's a great bass man. He really lays the bottom end down. In the New Orleans music, that's very, very important. Like just the bass lines that guys play down there are different than they play anywhere else. When you play a New Orleans funk beat, it's just different than anywhere else. So the bass player and the drummer really gotta lock up,
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for the show tonight. I'm really excited.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure everyone who's got a ticket in their hands.
It's gonna be fun.
Great. Will you do one more before you go?
Yeah, sure.
It's Harry Connick
I'll play
live.
some boogie for you.
Great.
I is just what I was, and him ain't who I be. To love the language, you got to be born on the banks of the Mississippi. your ex what talks in tongues will never more need than me to love the language. You got to be born on the banks of the Mississippi. Alright. Staying by my mama's in slippers and pajamas where there's always something good to eat. Bed and strawberries, honey and cherries, and pecan pies, oh so sweet. With the do-rag on my brow, jasmine, wisteria, and fleur-de-lis. To love the language, you got to be born on the banks of the Mississippi. All right. By my mama's in slippers and pajamas where there's always something good to eat. Bed and strawberries, honey and cherries, and pecan pies, oh so sweet. If you won't work for a living and live life leisurely, pull up a screen porch, flop out in a rocking chair, and love the language. You got to be born on the banks of the Mississippi. Hey!
Wow. Yeah. Harry
Thank
Connick
you.
Jr. live on FM 101.9. I wish everyone out there could see. I wish there was a camera pointed at that keyboard to see your hands flying across it, because it is an amazing sight.
Thanks.
It really
Well,
is.
you know, it's going to be even more swinging tonight because I'll have a chance to, you know, get a little rest, get something to eat. Because, man, it's early. Last time I saw this hour, I don't even think I've seen this hour in the morning.
Wow.
Gosh, there's only one. What time is it now?
It is 10:30.
There's only one 10:30 in my book. That's p.m.
Well, we'll be seeing you tonight at 10:30 p.m. I'm sure you'll still be up on stage.
I'll be rocking
jamming.
10:30.
Right.
We're still going strong.
Harry Connick Jr., thank you so much for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you. My pleasure.
It's New FM 101.9, and it's been a blast. Thanks.
Thanks.